Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Ministry of Labor announces more than 1,200 public jobs and signs on-job training contract for 800 jobs available for Omanis in the electricity sector. The National Defense College starts its new academic year with the inauguration of the 9th National Defense Program. The Ministry of Health reports 2 deaths, 73 new cases of COVID-19, and 143 recoveries in the Sultanate. Oman wins 1-0 to Japan in the World Cup Asian qualifying soccer match. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Alessandro Cardelli and His Excellency Mirko Dolcini, the governors of the Republic of San Marino, on their country's National Day. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Foreign Minister, discussed with His Excellency Soo Wook, a Minister of National Defense of South Korea, aspects of bilateral cooperation between the two friendly countries and means of strengthening it in various fields. They also exchanged viewpoints on a number of regional and international issues with mutual concern. The two sides affirmed on the strong political and economic relations binding the two countries, along with the existing cooperation in the military and security fields. They also expressed the joint cooperation to expand cooperation and partnership levels in various spheres, as the two countries are about to celebrate the 50th anniversary of establishing the diplomatic relations. The Sultanate of Oman, represented by the Foreign Ministry, participated in the European Forum in the Austrian city of Albach. In the forum, His Excellency Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali Al Harthi, Undersecretary for Diplomatic Affairs at the Foreign Ministry, stressed on the Sultanate's vision that is based on dispute resolution through diplomacy and the importance of nurturing cooperation and understanding between countries in the region as the best means to establish security, stability, and development. The forum discussed the future of the Gulf and Middle East region amid the latest development witnessed in the area. The works of the 108th round of Arab Economic and Social Council started at the Arab League in Cairo, with the participation of the Sultanate. The delegation was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Saeed bin Mohammed Al-Saqri, the Minister of Economy. The meeting dealt with the supporting joint Arab integration through a number of plans and measures that will enhance the Arab economic and social integration amid many challenges caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The economic file of the meeting included Arab Free Trade Zone, latest developments of the Arab Custom Union, and supporting the Palestinian economy. The meeting discussed social issues such as setting up general principles to unify procedures for the registration and usage of vaccine among Arab countries. The total value of the state's collected revenues at the end of July 2021 increased by 0.5% compared to the same period in 2020 as to reach 5,214 million Omani riyals. Oil net revenues rose by 3.4%, amounting to around 3,573,900,000 riyals compared to the end of July 2020 due to the increase in oil prices average, which amounted to $54 at the end of last July. The deficit in the States General recorded a decrease by 22.2% compared to the actual deficit recorded in 2020 as to reach 1,209,900,000 riyals. The Ministry of Labor has recently announced 1,231 new job opportunities for job seekers in various government units. Additional 265 jobs will be announced soon by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources in response to the ministry's actual needs in various locations across the country. The announced jobs include agricultural extension specialist, plant pathology researcher, field technician, civil engineer, and other agricultural related jobs. With the aim of Omanizing and replacing 800 technical job opportunities in the electricity sector, the Ministry of Labor signed a training agreement with Nama Group in cooperation with the Public Services Regulatory Authority. More details in the following report.
With the aim of Omanizing and replacing 800 technical job opportunities in the electricity sector with subcontractors working on permanent contracts, the Ministry of Labor signed a memorandum for trading with Nama Group in cooperation with the Public Services Regulatory Authority, where the Ministry will finance training programs associated with employment or on-the-job training in partnership with Nama.
We signed an agreement to train around 800 Omanis to join the subcontractors working with the licensed companies in the electricity sector. This is a translation of the strategy of the authority to increase the Omanization level in not only the licensed companies but also in the subcontractors working with the licensed companies in permanent contracts. We believe that this is a very important step to enable the Omani calibers to take jobs within the electricity sector. Most of the jobs are very technical that requires training, and we are doing on-job training, and we are doing also a training for almost 6 to 8 months, and then those Omani calibers will have the ability to move and do the full job in those contracts.
The agreement comes within the objective of the Oman 2040 vision concerned with developing the capabilities and skills of national professional cadres job seekers by implementing and preparing training strategies and plans in programs that ensure the readiness of the national workforce of job seekers who will be employed in the electricity sector.
This current initiative from Nama Group and the Ministry of Labor and the Public Authority for the Regulation of Services, which aims at employing 800 Omani graduates, will satisfy the need in the supporting services for Nama Group and its subsidiaries. As you know, Nama Group companies are already at a level of 95% Omanization. With all the leadership in these companies are fully Omanized. So now the time has come to look into the supporting services and the contractors providing the supporting services and the Omani resources they have.
Which will be contributing to raising the current Omanization rates from 47% to about 90% for the group's contractors for permanent works. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
An agreement has been signed between the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation and Oman Liquefied Natural Gas LNG Development Foundation to finance the training program for Omani job seekers in the field of mobile phones and tablets repair. The agreement includes the preparation of 10 trainers in the field of mobile phones repair and 60 trainees to prepare them and refine their skills in mobile phone repair at a number of vocational colleges affiliated with the ministry. National Defense College started the new academic year with the inauguration of the 9th cycle for the National Defense Program. The ceremony included a documentary clip on the college's role in preparing strategic leaders and the curriculum, which include both theoretical and practical components. The program aims at nurturing civilian and military strategic leaders and equip them with knowledge and skills essential to lead their posts. The ceremony was held under the patronage of Air Vice Marshal Engineer Saleh bin Yahya al-Maskari, Commandant of the National Defense College. The Ministry of Health announced 2 deaths and 73 new cases of COVID-19 in the Sultanate. It also registered 143 recovered cases. The ministry also reported that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 302,466, while the total number of deaths reached 4,070. The total recovered cases reached 292,181. The ministry indicated that the number of inpatients in the Sultanate hospitals reached 112, out of which 48 are in intensive care units. Al-Nahda Hospital conducts moral and psychological support service for overall staff. More details in the following report.
The Department of Health, Education and Psychological Counseling in Al-Nahda Hospital has started implementing a training program on moral and psychological support services for the hospital's healthcare workers. The one-month program is being conducted by means of sessions every Thursday. The first session started today. The program will highlight key topics including promoting awareness on the importance of mental, moral and social health among the health workers in hospitals, enabling the employee to achieve a balance among work, family and social life. The program stresses the need to provide the necessary psychological and moral care for all health workers, providing them with an intellectual, physical and emotional balance, in addition to emphasizing alignment between functional institution goals and personal aspirations. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Still to come on our news bulletin. Oman had a stunning win over Japan at the 3rd round of World Cup Asian qualifiers in Osaka today. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Qatar's Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani held a press conference along with the visiting British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab in Doha and had this to say on the situation in Kabul airport.
Regarding the airport, actually, we are still in the evaluation process. There is no clear indication when it's going to be fully operational yet, but we are working very hard and also engaging with Taliban to identify what are the gaps and the risks for having the airport back up and running. But we will remain hopeful that we will be able to operate it as soon as possible. As we mentioned earlier, it's a very important and very strong statement also if Taliban will demonstrate their commitments to provide safe passage and freedom of movement for the people of Afghanistan. So we are trying our best to help in serving that interest, and we will do our best. We are engaging with them, engaging with also Turkey if they can provide any technical assistance on that front. And hopefully in the next few days we will hear some good news. We are trying our best to support now bringing back the airport to be up and running, and this is remaining our focus in the next short-term period.
"12 million French children returned to school today for the new academic year. They wore masks as part of the new rules aimed at slowing the spread of the coronavirus in the country. French President Emmanuel Macron visited a primary school in a multicultural neighborhood of the southern city of Marseille. He was also greeted with fist bumps by children and teachers, all wearing face masks, which are mandatory indoors from the age of 6. Children are also required to frequently wash their hands, and classrooms must be regularly ventilated. Macron has urged teenagers to be vaccinated, and the jab is available to those aged 12 and older. More than 63% of children and teenagers aged between 12 and 17 have received at least one shot, and 47% are fully vaccinated. France maintained one of the highest rates of in-person classes during the COVID-19 crisis in the world. With the winds finally turning in their favor, firefighters said today they were throwing all their resources into boxing a California blaze that was scant miles from Lake Tahoe and neighboring Nevada. 3 days of fearlessly gusting winds had driven the Caldor fire east through the rugged Sierra Nevada, forcing tens of thousands of people from the region of forest, mountain, hamlets, resorts, and alpine lakes. The Caldor fire has burned at least 700 homes and other buildings and threatens at least 33,000 others. South Lake Tahoe is deserted and casinos and stores closed on the Nevada side yesterday morning. Issam As-Subhi struck 2 minutes from time as Oman claimed a shock 1-0 win over Japan to begin the third round World Cup Asian qualifiers in Osaka today. It's Japan's first defeat in 9 games in qualifying campaign. There was a penalty given against Japan overturned after referee Mohammad Abdullah Hassan initially awarded a spot kick to Oman early in the second half following Yuto Nagatomo's handball. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ministry of Labor announces more than 1,200 public jobs and signs on-job training contract for 800 jobs available for Omanis in the electricity sector. The National Defense College starts its new academic year with the inauguration of the 9th National Defense Program. The Ministry of Health reports 2 deaths, 73 new cases of COVID-19, and 143 recoveries in the Sultanate. Oman wins 1-0 to Japan in the World Cup Asian qualifying soccer match. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, congratulations to our national football team. Good night and stay safe.